Who in here is in the process of trying to hire people or feels like, Dan, you're in the process?
Well, I mean, we've been hiring. We've made several the past month and a half.
Hiring techs or management or what?
We did both. On marketed sales leads, it's 35%. Tech turnovers is 75%. That's for sales. And then service, we're looking for more of average ticket and gross blended averages. So like the AC guys, every house, the water heater is usually next to the air handler, right? So we usually tell them like, hey, it's really easy to look at a water heater and tell if it's new or old. So we just tell the customer, say, hey, ma'am, I'm not a plumber, but I know an old water heater when I see one.
Sometimes when people show up at your door, it's like, I'm not in a need. And so the question is, when is that opportunity? When do you make the decision I'm hiring now? And I'm always looking at it saying, okay, well, if I hire right now, how long am I going to be in pain? I'm in the process of making an offer to a nonprofit Boy Scout recruiter. Actually, that's probably not the correct title for him. He goes out and he finds the money.
Okay.
If
Like,
you
like a fundraiser.
He's a fundraiser. If you can go find the money for a nonprofit, that is a much harder ROI for a business owner to calculate in their head, then they should be able to most definitely sell. The reason I'm saying this is what I have found is when I'm trying to pull people in from the same industry, they have unrealistic expectations on what they're requiring. When I pull them in from a different industry, it's much easier to have the compensation conversations that are not just stupid.
But one thing that stopped me was if you say it's $100,000 or $120,000 position, we kind of think of like that 120 coming out of our existing cash flow. And then we generally say, no, I don't want to do that. The way to do that is, first of all, if that person can't pay for themselves and free up enough time for you to create it, you're hiring the wrong person and you haven't really thought it through well enough. And number two is you should look over it more over the quarter, over 3 months. So if it's 100,000, you can say, am I willing to take the chance on this for $25,000? I just hired somebody for my roofing company today. I think she's going to be excellent. We decided on a pay for 2 weeks. We are going to then have a meeting 2 weeks from today. We're going to talk about her pay, make sure it's a good fit. I always say it like that. I want to make sure you like it, we like it. And it's like I'm leaving a date where I don't have to really explain much.
So, take your income and you're going to have that 2,000 hours in a year. And we all work more than that, but take those 2,000 hours in a year and divide it. Now you'll know what your hourly rate is. And if you can hire below your hourly rate, that's always a no-brainer.
I like to create lead chaos where I got so many leads coming in that of course we have the systems with Gutter King, but that's kind of what I did all businesses is I like a lot of cold outreach. And once I see it working, I just keep plugging in more and more and reaching out.
The number one comment they say is, y'all communicate so well, y'all make this so easy. I see that in our restoration business. That's the number one comment we get there is, y'all communicate so well.
I like really frictionless stuff. I'll pay more for sure now, but even when I didn't have money, I'll pay more for frictionless stuff. That's why DoorDash does work. I have 16-year-olds in this house with no money getting DoorDash in the middle of the day because it's easy. When you get a customer and you just did a service and they're happy, and maybe you do other service for them. People like to rush off the phone. I don't. I like to talk to them. You'll know when that person's trying to get off the phone. Then I let them off. I'm not going to harass them. But I'll say, hey, real quick, I'm trying to grow my business and you're a great customer and wanted to know what do you like about us and what could we do better. When you get a lead, don't get into the thing of like, I don't tell them you got to make 100 calls a day. I say, I want you to have 15 good conversations a day, 15 where it's slow, relaxed, and you're talking. And I want you to have 3 people that are interested that you talk to and they were giving you all the information and you feel like, hey, if I follow up and we give good pricing, there's a good chance this person's going to use it.
My win is I've been working on this Marriott hotel for like 15 months and I finally locked it in last night. 400 G's. Yeah, dude. And that's it's like one of the pinnacle projects that we're going to perform. And we'll have more marketing and the drone footage and all that stuff.
And I love the fact that you got to see it through after 15 months of negotiating because some of the biggest wins do take a little bit of time. You stuck with it.
Yeah, but now we actually got to get to work. Now is the part we got to deliver.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.